So hello, good evening, and welcome to another Dublin Coding School online event. This time it's going to be a workshop and we're looking at web development. In a moment, I'll introduce you to the workshop leader, but maybe I'll start off by just telling you, if you don't know, who we are. We're the Dublin Coding School, so we're a new coding school in Ireland, based in Dunleary, but we're new as in we've from the start of the year, but we're not a totally new concept. We have schools across Europe that have been running for 5 years. We have about 4,000 graduates. And in fact, our workshop leader tonight is from the capital city of Lithuania, Vilnius, and he's the lead lecturer in that coding school over there, which is the Vilnius Coding School. So I'll be delighted to have him. But before I just introduce here a bit about us, we offer courses in full stack web development, in data analytics, also in automation testing and the basics of coding. These are short courses, so they're maybe 2.5 months, 8 to 6 weeks, and they're designed for adults and people who are looking to change their career. So maybe they've seen which way the wind is blowing and all of the tech jobs being advertised, and you might think, well, maybe I should really look to retrain and be part of that. So all of the courses are designed around jobs that have been advertised in the tech world. We also have a career center, so all the graduates from these courses are put into the career center. And there we help with your CV, we help you with your online presence. We also share your CV with partners who are hiring in these areas, partners of the coding school, and we look to get you a role. And if you do get an interview, whether we find it for you or you find it yourself, we will have a consultation with you before the interview to prepare you. Also, you can do all of our courses twice once you've registered. So if you book on, for instance, to full stack web development course, you can sit it again within 12 months for free. I think we're the only coding school that do that. The reason we do that is we realize some of these technical subjects can be sometimes hard to grasp. So what we do is we give you that intensive course and train you up to entry level, get you onto the jobs market through the Career Center, but then we give you the chance to refresh your knowledge within a year. So that's a bit about us. I'll maybe tell you a bit more about us at the end. I don't want to take the whole show here about how to contact us, but I'd like to now introduce one of the leading lecturers over in the Vilnius Coding School, Zigmantas. Zigmantas, if you'd like to just maybe tell us a bit about yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Zigmantas. I'm web developer, working for Sweden company as web developer, and already actually working with the Vilnius Coding School for 4 years. So today we are going to work together. I will introduce in this extremely short time about the web development, and we'll see how it will go on. So you can continue.
Great, thank you very much. So really that's what we're going to do now is there's going to be a workshop where we're going to build a web page. Now, if you look at the instructions for this event, either on our website, which is dublincoding.ie, or else you can see it actually, I believe, in the description on Facebook where this broadcast is being published at the moment. And also, if you're watching the replay here on YouTube or anywhere else, underneath this, you will see the instructions. So there is a website you can go to and quickly register to if you have a Google login or something like that. It's in the instructions where you can actually build this web page along with us tonight while you're watching. So now would be the time to log in to that if you are going to be doing it along, or if you're watching the replay, now's the time to log in. So I'll hand over now to Zigmantas to lead the workshop and build this this web page and show you how it's done. Thank you very much.
I can continue. Perfect. So at the moment we have only 1 hour, and let's get started. I will share a screen. So today we are going, I have an agenda. First, I introduce what we are going to do. First, I will talk about the web development, about programming languages which are used in web development. Then we start Rebelit and registrations. It's integrated development environment where we can very quick build very simple web page for beginners. Then we will have quick introduction about this current development environment and all file structure. Then we will have short introduction about HTML. We'll build a page with HTML. Then we will have short introduction about CSS, cascading style sheets. We'll decorate a page with a CSS. Then we will have a short introduction about JavaScript, and we'll make our this tiny website a bit interactive. So, and after that we go online. So this page which we are going to create will go online, and you can show to your friends or anyone in the world. And after that, of course, place for questions. I want to first introduce the result of this session, how it will look like. We will create a page, actually image gallery. It will be called Hello Dublin. And there will be 10 images or photos. You can use your own photos, which will change every few seconds. So let's continue.
Okay, just for one second there, I'll just say to the audience who are watching, if you have any questions, please type them into the feed on Facebook while you're watching, and we will get to any questions that are asked. You can ask a question as we're going along if you're actually doing the work along with us and you have a question or you run into trouble. Also, at the end, if you have any questions about the course or any of the languages or technologies we're using, or in web development altogether, please feel free to ask them. So I'll just hand back to you there.
So I can continue. So the first question is, of course, I have to introduce you the web. What is a web and what programming languages is used for web development? First, let's start for your device. You have a device. It can be computer, it can be a tablet, it can be your cell phone with installed web browser. For example, Chrome, Edge, Safari, Firefox, whatever. Browser communicates with the external web services, servers, with a simple requests and simple responses. So first thing, what you do when you want to visit some page, you open the browser, enter the web page address and hit enter, for example. What happens? Request is sent to the server where the web page is hosted, and usually there is hosting web service which aggregates your request and do some logic, some algorithms. For example, it can just retrieve some HTML documents and return back to you if it's simple static HTML documents. HTML documents are created using HTML, CSS, or JavaScript language. If there is some dynamic content, usually there is additional services which aggregates requests and adds more dynamic content. There can be that this web service where the page is hosted can send additional requests to other servers, and in these servers can be installed specific services which aggregates this request and do some dynamic stuff. These services are created by using backend programming languages, for example, PHP, C#, Java, Python, Ruby, and else. Of course, these services can, if need some data, for example, which is stored somewhere in databases, these services can send additional requests to databases and fetch some data. Databases also, there is specific types of databases which can be used, which can be MySQL, PostgreSQL, Microsoft SQL, Oracle, or NoSQL databases like MongoDB. And of course, when data is found and returned back, everything returns back. Data is returned back to the backend service. Backend service aggregates it and returns back to web hosting services, and web hosting services prepare a document and HTML document and return back to the your device, and you then see the page on your computer. Page is downloaded to your computer. Let's continue. Let's start with a REPL IT. I want to introduce you REPL IT, which is actually free collaborative tool, also browser integrated development environment, where you can choose more than 50 programming languages and do some basic coding. So let's go to this page. So you have just opened your browser. To the address field, enter repl.it, and we will start coding. So if you go to the web browser, just write down repl.it. Page opens. Of course, okay, I'm logged in. I will log out to start from the beginning, that you can see how to do the registration. So basically, you should see the page like this. Page address itself is resolved to replit.com. So if you want to start coding, just click blue button, start coding. And there we go, registration page is opened, and you can use whether Google services, whether GitHub services, whether Facebook services to do your authentication. So registration at the beginning and later authentication. So I use Google. So every one of you can use Google, or you can choose. So I click Google, choose my email, and here we go, I'm here. You can see a bit different screen. If you have registered first time, I will show what you can see. Actually, you can see this picture in the middle at the beginning. So you have to click build from scratch, the button, blue button on the left. And after this window, you should you should see next form where you can choose a programming language and enter your project name. I called it Hello Dublin, and click the blue button, create REPL. Yes, just don't forget to choose correct language. Correct language is HTML, CSS, and GC, JavaScript, actually. When you are registered, environment looks a bit different. And every time you want to start create project, you should click button on the left corner, left upper corner, new REPL, this plus sign. I just will create it. So appears form where you choose language. You can see there's a lot of different languages which you can choose and work in web browser, start programming in web browser. So I will choose HTML, CSS, JavaScript. If it's not in your favorite list, you should scroll down and find it. So I will choose HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and will call my project. I call my project Hello Dublin. And create. Also, you can choose whether it will be public or private. It will be public. If you want to be private, you should pay for it. So all pages are public. You should upgrade your account. So create your repo. Click the blue button. Here we go. Our environment is prepared. And let's get back to our slides. So now will be a quick introduction about this environment and file structure. So the page itself, this window, let's say, it's divided into three parts. The most left part is just files. Files are 3 at the beginning for each language. One file is index.html. This is main file. This file is loaded every time when page loads. So actually it's HTML document. Next file is JavaScript file. It's called script.jc. And next file is style CSS for styles. So style CSS is empty. JavaScript file is empty. We will fill it. Index.html, there is a skeleton, scratch, prepared for you. We don't have to start from 0. Next part is already you have seen. It's middle part where you write a code. So as I have said, if you choose every file, you can write in the middle the code. And the next part, most right part is preview. You can see your page here. For example, if I write anything, hello, just simple text, and click run button, I will see it here. It's a preview. And of course, one more part in the right bottom, black one, there is a console basically used for JavaScript. We will use a bit it later. So let's continue. Yes, next slide. I will introduce a bit about HTML and we'll start building a web page with HTML. So HTML basically is like brackets which you use like a material which you use to build the house. For example, you put one block to another on another block, and you build the house actually. So so HTML is used for it. Just build, no decoration, no interactivity. HTML is based on elements. Elements has attributes. For example, main parts of HTML code is, of course, it starts with HTML tag, yes, and ends with HTML tag, specific sign of slash used where tag ends. Then HTML code is divided into 2 main parts. The head part. Head part is used basically for meta information, for title, as you see, also to link CSS file to this HTML document and other things. Body part is where we write a code which will be visible to end client. For example, as we know, have written just word hello, and it's seen in the right window. Yeah, so everything what we will write, it will be written in body. So let's start. Let's get back to our result page. This one, yes. Result page, what we are going to do, it's a header part. top one, then the main part where the image is shown, and the footer part, bottom part, where we put additional information. And of course, when you click, you can see on the bottom, there is a specific link where you click and open other page. So we use hyperlink to jump from one document to another document. And also create two, actually we will create two documents. So there also will be same three parts. One part is header, main part, and footer. All pages has these main parts. So let's get back to the coding and start creating these parts. I will delete this word hello. We'll put some empty spaces. And let's start. First we will write element header. It's called header. It's semantic element used to identify that there will be the top header. Each element has start tag and end tag. So end tag is use the slash. So just click the slash, and open tag and closing tag. So inside these, between these tags, I wrote other tags or just text. So we have header. Next part, what we need is main part. So there is also semantic element main. And also it starts with a main tag and ends with a main tag. Don't forget to put slash on the end tag. Also in the middle, let's break down this line, and because we will write some code inside these, between these tags, or we can say inside this element. And the third part is footer, also semantic element footer, starting tag and ending tag, and also breakdown. So we have three parts: one part, second part, and third part. Okay, if we just click run, at the moment we cannot see anything yet because we just put elements, nothing inside it. So let's start from the top message. Let's get back, and there is text hello Dublin. We want to show this. You see the text is in big letters. So here we can use specific HTML elements, which is used for headings. There are some levels of the headings. HTML has default 6 levels from 1 to 6. First level is highest, and the sixth level is lowest. So first level just is written element starts with this H, and you can choose again. You can see you choose up to 6 levels. So we choose the first, is the biggest one. And of course, it starts and ends with the same tag. And inside this element, H1 element, we write the text. Hello, Dublin. And we can put this. And click run. If you click run, you can see the text on the page. Yes. At the moment, we don't have a style. We just put plain HTML text, just HTML. And let's continue. So what else we need? Next thing, what we need is image. Yes, image. So inside image is placed inside main part. Now we need images. We don't have images. So you see in the left side of the window where the files are located, index HTML, script, GC, style, CSS, there is no images. We have to upload them. So if try to find some images in your computer, there is a button. You can add file, you just create here, and there is 3 dots, vertical dots, where you can click, and there is upload file. And just click upload file. Or you can upload folder. And let's upload files. Upload files. We'll open this your computer environment, File Explorer, and you choose your files. I have prepared 10 files. I will click. You can select by clicking Control key in the keyboard, and just click all needed pictures. 9, 10. That's all. And here we go. I click open. You see all files appear in your development environment. Now we can use them. So when files appear here, we can add element which use these files. So element for image is EMG. This element does not have ending tag. It's just one tag, EMG. But this element has attributes. All elements can have attributes. So this element has specific attribute, which is called source. In short, that will be ASRC. Then this equal sign and quotas. In quotas, you have to write file name. So in this case, let's start from the first image, 1.jpg. So 1.jpg, you just have to write it. And nothing more yet. So if we click run, we have an image. Wow, nice. We can a bit expand this to see bigger view. So it's still not interactive, but we already have this image in our web page. So let's continue. What else do we need? Let's look into our result page. What else we need? It's a footer with a specific information. So we have to write this in the footer. Let's go back. And there is a footer, and I can just write text, the same text, copy, write. You can write your own text. Hope I didn't make mistakes. Yes, here we go. So we have a text, and what is interesting, you can see that this contact us 2 words are underscored, and you can click on it. When you click on it, you are redirected to other page. So we have to create this redirection also in code. So let's get back to our code, and this contact us. We have create as a link. So for links, for hyperlinks, element A is used. This element looks like this, just a element, and you have to wrap this contact us text. At the end, just put end tag A. So it's wrapped. A element needs attribute graph for resource. Graph, just click graph, choose from menu, and your attribute is prepared to continue. So in Quartus, you have to write a file, HTML document file name, where you're going to redirect when client clicks on this link. So here you have, at the moment, we don't have this file, but we will create. So I call this file contact.html. .html. We don't have it. If you look on the left side, there is no contact HTML file. We have to create one. So I guess we already prepared everything for this index HTML, so we can continue with contact HTML. So how to create contact HTML? You have to click button add file, which is at the top of this list of files. It's called add file. I create add file, and there is label appears, which you can fill with name of the file. So I will call the same contact.html and hit enter. And here we go. What's interesting, we don't have HTML skeleton. It's totally empty. So you have to write HTML. I will wait for you. Joking. Go back to index HTML. What you can do, just copy everything from index HTML, because we have this skeleton, scratch, and we can use the same in other HTML files. We just can copy. Just select all this code, click right mouse button, from context menu choose copy, go to the contact HTML file, and just right click, and from context menu there is no paste, so just use keyboard combination Control V. And here we go. Make sure that you are in the contact HTML file. You can see in this tab, contact HTML. Don't mix. Sometimes it happens when you mix and change in other files. So now we have to change the code, a bit code here, because it's not totally unique as in index HTML, but differs. So let's go to the result and see. We see that there is text contacts, additional text, and there is an email. And also this footer is the same. So let's change hello Dublin to contacts. There is in main part, there is no image. So let's delete image element, only image element. And yeah, there is, you see this text a bit smaller. So let's choose another level of heading element. Let's say H2. And write down any text, whatever you want. I will use the same. I just copy it. I can copy, yes, and put here. And what else has left? It's a link. So another, you see that it is the same size as previous. So I just put another H2 element after this H2 element and write down this email, info@dublincoding, IE. Yes, let's test it. Let's check. Always, when you're working on coding, do few steps and check if it works. So if I click run, I see hello Dublin because it loads main page. But at the bottom, I can check this link, contact us, if it works. Yeah, I see. It redirected me to another file, and I see contacts if you want to, and text, and of course email and footer the same. So we have finished HTML part, and next part is CSS part. We will start decorating our page to make it beautiful. I have added to the slide some basics of CSS, and let's see. So I'll get back to index HTML. I will show where to write CSS code. We are not going to go deeper in this session all possibilities with CSS, of course, because it takes some time because we have only 1 hour. So basically what I want to show is this link. You see, this link means that index HTML is referenced with style CSS file. They are connected together, and index HTML uses this style CSS file using this link. So our CSS file is this file, style CSS. So all style I write to this style CSS, I will decorate index HTML file, and of course will decorate contact HTML file, because contact HTML file also has the same link. So let's go to the style CSS and let's start. CSS based on selectors and style descriptions. Yes, actually it's called the declarations. So first thing what we're going to write is we will write what we are going to change is background. Yes, you have noticed that background is black and text is white, so we will make the same. So to make background black, you can actually change background of any element, but if you want to change background of a whole page, so you actually have to change. If you go back to index HTML, so main element is body here. So body says that what you see here in the page, everything is body inside the body. So body's background you have to change. So let's get back to style CSS. So if you want to change body's background, you have to write body, curly braces. It's called starting, ending. So it's a syntax of CSS if you want to change style of body element. Inside between these curly braces, you have to write declaration. Declaration consists of attribute and value. So attributes are built in CSS language, so you cannot create them. You have to know them, learn them. So if you start a web course, of course, a lot of them will learn. But now I will show you. For example, if you want to change background color, there is specific built-in attribute which is called background color. What is nice in these development environments, when you start writing something, it suggests. So in this case, we need background color. Yeah, background color. And in simple way, you can write color name in English. For example, if you want black, you just write black. Yes, and at the end of declaration, you should place a semicolon. Yes, and next, what I want to change. Let's test first. Yes, so if I click run, I see image, but I cannot see text. It's hidden. You see, if you try to select, it's hidden. Why? Because text at the beginning was black, and if I change to background to black, you cannot see the text. You can send secret messages to someone in this way. Yeah, but someone who reads has to know that he has to select this text. Yeah, so let's change color of the text. There is another attribute which is called color, and I will place name of color white. Let's test. Click run, and you see that hello Dublin. Oh yes. What else we need? If I make it bigger, you see that we near the end, but still not the same as our result, as our goal. Yeah, so we have to move everything to the center and make this picture a bit smaller and nicer. Yeah, so everything what we want is to align. There is text align attribute, text align. We can align center. So all text is aligned to the center. If I click run again, I see that text is in the center. Yeah, even image. Actually, image itself is understood as text, so it's also in the middle. So let's go next. What else we see that our text is not uppercase. We can change this also in CSS. For example, we have to write this element name because we will change h1 element. So h1, then curly braces. Inside curly braces, we write declaration, and declaration is for changing to uppercase. Yes, just text transform, text transform. We're transformating text, and we can just write uppercase value, uppercase. There is other possibilities. You can choose lowercase or capitalize. Capitalize means each word is in uppercase. Each word first letter is in uppercase. So in this case, we use uppercase. If we click run, we see text in uppercase. What else? What else? Now we have to create footer, a bit decorate footer because it's now it's in the middle. Yeah, it's in the middle, but we will bit decorate it. In case, for example, if we go, there is this link. You see this link. If we click on this link and go to the page, place it to address field, I can see already my page. We see a small issue that this text not at the bottom, but the result is at the bottom. So we have to fix this. Move footer to the bottom of the page. So for this, we have to write down the footer element name, put curly braces, and there is specific declaration with attribute position, and it has such value fixed. It means we can fix elements to specific place, and then we can provide, for example, that we fix it at the bottom with 0 pixels. It means at the bottom, just at the bottom. And if we run it, of course, it's difficult to see here. Maybe we can. Yeah, it's difficult to see here, yeah, but we can see it in result page here. I have loaded this page, so we can see here in bigger window. So if I refresh, I see that it's appear here, but not in the middle. It's not in the middle because when you change position to fixed, it changes his behavior, its behavior. So we have to add additional declarations. For example, for this footer element, because now it's not 100% wide, we have to put width to 100%, and maybe that's it. Let's check. If I click, yes, I see it's at the bottom now. Let's continue. What else we want? We want to decorate image, of course. Want to decorate image. For image decoration, we have to write image element name. Again, curly braces. We will create all images we will create will be 100% width, wide of parent element. It means that element inside which this image are placed. So another thing, we want to decorate image with some nice fancy style. For example, border radius, there is specific border radius specific, which cuts the corners, and you can put some, you can try different values. For example, I will place 20 pixels, and let's see how it looks like. You see that image is cut off, and image size is 100% of window. Yeah, and what else we can add? I guess that's it. Another thing, we will add animation when image appears. We will add animation. There's a specific attribute, animation, which where we provide a name of keyframes. Let's say I will call it fade in and grow. It means that our picture will fade in and grow a bit. And how long it will take? It will take 1 second, for example. Yes, and I called it fade in and grow. I don't have it. I have to create keyframes. Keyframes, it's created in the same CSS file. Just write down ETA, and standard word is keyframes. And here I have to use the same name. And inside this, I write logic of animation. I say from what style I change to this, what is starting style and what is destination style. So starting style is keyword from. In curly braces, I write declaration opacity. Opacity means is it visible or not. 0 means visible, and 0 means non-visible, and 1 means visible. So in this case, we start from non-visible, and width will be, let's say, 50%. And next to destination style is opacity 1 and width 100%. Let's see. We can try now. If you have written correctly, you can run and see. Nice image appeared. Very nice. Yeah. So this code is. So I guess from we can test, of course. There's very small image to see, but we can test, of course, in this page and see how it looks like in the page. Just click refresh. It's too big, 100%, but in the high it's too big. So maybe we can change a bit some other elements. For example, we have 3. Let's go to index.html file. We have 3 elements: header, main, and footer. So these 3 elements should be changed. And back to CSS, and we will make them 500% width, and in this case, and make them in the middle. So I can write these elements: header, comma, main, comma, and footer. Just I tell them header, main, and footer will look somehow. So we'll use curly braces, and let's say width will be 50%. Yeah, 50%. What we'll see, let's go back and refresh. Oh, nice. 50%. Image is 100%, but images inside main element. Main element is 50%. So image is 100% of main element. But it's in the left corner. Not nice. So for these all header, main, and footer, to make it in the middle, there is specific not align attribute, not text align declaration, but there is specific margin attribute, which we can use value automated. Automatically it will put some margin on the left and some margin on the right, and it will be in the middle. So if I refresh, I see it in the middle. Nice. We have one picture, working picture, and we have finished with CSS. Now let's continue with JavaScript. So next part is JavaScript. What is JavaScript? JavaScript is used for interaction. So basically, JavaScript is based on functions. We create functions. Each function is tiny part of logic which do some things. For example, in our case, we will generate random image and replace instead of current image. So let's continue. The script is written inside script.jc file. If you go back to index.html file, maybe you can ask question how the script link is linked. Script file is linked with index.html file. You can see that it's at the bottom. There is script tag where it says that source for this index HTML file is script.jc file. So everything we will write inside script.jc file. Yeah, but first thing what we are going to do is to make it button click event, to create button click event. It means that if I click on the image will change. So button click event. So we have a main part. I will create not an image click, but on main part. It's called main. So inside main element, we create attribute which called on click. On click. It means that if I click on it, on this main element, I will do something. What I will do, not me, but the code, what code will do, it will be described in function. So when I click on this main element, inside main element is image. So I will generate and show a random image. So I can call the function, okay, maybe write generate and show random image. Yeah, and there should be parentheses. Yeah. This is a function of JavaScript. We're calling this function, and function do the stuff. But this function does not exist yet. We have to create it. We call it, and we create it inside script.jc file. Because now we can test it. If I click run, yeah, there is a part of console in the right bottom part, console. If I click on the image, I will get an error. You see, you can control errors. You see errors. It says that generated and show random image is not defined. Generate and show random image is not defined. It means that we have to define it somewhere. So let's go to this, back to the code, and we have to define it. So go to script.jc, and we start writing JavaScript code. We have to define this function. So function starts with the standard word function. Function space, and we create this function generate. Be careful, don't do mistakes, because if you do mistakes, it will not find this function. If you mix some letters and show random image, and don't forget parentheses, and curly braces start. Similar like CSS, there was also curly braces, and inside curly braces we can write a logic, a code. Our logic will be next. We will generate random number and use this random number to load this random image. Because our images is called by numbers, it's very easy to generate number and use this for loading specific image. So first of all, we will create random number. So for this, we need variables. Of course, if you start the course, there will be deeper knowledge introduction, what is variables, but in programming languages, variables is used. So to declare variables, use specific word var, and then you call these variables whatever you want. I will call it random number. You can call it x or whatever, a, b, c, or whatever, but I suggest to call it meaningfully So yeah, for JavaScript, there is specific library which generates random numbers. This library called math, and math has a lot of functions for mathematics. So in this case, we have a specific function random. This random function generates a number from 0 to 1. It's not useful for us, yes, because we have from 1 to 10, but it generates from 0 to 1. Let's do some logic to transform it to correct number. So next, I will declare next variable, which I call random number for image row. Random number for image row. It will not be completed number, only part of the number. And what I do, this random number will multiply from 10. Why? Because the first line, the first line will generate from 0 to 1. Let's say it generates 0.5. Yes, but if I multiply from 10, I will get 5. It means that I will have 5. I can load this fifth image. Yeah, so nice. And what else? One wrong thing, if it will generate 0, we will have a problem, because random number 0 multiplying from 10, we will get 0. We do not have image with 0. Yes, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until 10. It's a problem. What we can do, we can always plus 1. So we will never have image for, number with 0. Yeah. So in this case, we will still have a problem, because it can generate a number between 0 and 1, and number can be with a lot of digits after floating point. So we have to floor it, to round a bit. So there is specific function, also math has function for this. So yeah, I will call new variable, the last one variable. It will be called random number. Let's test first. Sorry. So for testing, what variable has value, we can do like this. Call the function of JavaScript, specific function, which logs values inside straight to console, and we can see what value. So this function is called console.log, and inside parentheses I can put this variable. Yeah, inside this parentheses I can put value. So how to test? If I run, everything goes perfect. You see no errors. But when I click on image, because we have a code on click, function is called. So this function is called, and this logic is used. So when I click, I got a number. You see a number 9.8232450, and so on. Yeah. I cannot load such image because I have only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. So in this case, I have to round this image to the integer. Yeah. For this, I will do new variable and call it random image. Random number for image equal, again, math function, and there is specific floor function which returns number equal or less than provided. It means if you provide number like 9.8, it will return 9. So we just provide this raw number, and here we go, we will have right number. So I can again place this console log after this step. Yeah, after this step to check if it's correctly fluid. So just don't forget to use correct variable. I run, click again on the image. Yeah, I have, it was generated 1.7 and the final number is 1. Click again, was generated 10.0 and it was rounded to 10. Yeah, nice. We have it. So let's continue. Now we will place image with correct number. If we want to select specific element and change it, we have to write also selector. JavaScript also has selectors, but we have to somehow to mark this element to select it. So I go back to index.html, and this main, I will choose main because inside I want to change everything inside main element. I will replace this image with another image on click. So inside main element, first starting tag, I add additional attribute which is called ID equal, and in quotes I will write content. I will call it content. You can call it whatever you want. Content, yes. And let's go back to the JavaScript file, script.jc, and let's select this element for change. So to select element for change, there is use specific word, JavaScript word document. Then specific function is called query selector. Oh, sorry, the mistake, document. Then you see, if no mistakes, there is suggestion. What function? Query, yeah, query. It's called selector, query selector. Just use query selector. In parentheses, inside parentheses, in the quotes, write hashtag. Hashtag means that I will select element with ID, specific ID. So ID will be content, the same as I have marked it in HTML document. With this, I will select this main element. And here we go, we will change this element inner HTML. There is specific attribute, let's say not attribute, but property of this element, inner HTML. It's called inner HTML, and I will change it by writing equal. And inside this, I can write in text this HTML, whole HTML document, whole new HTML element. Yeah, so let's start writing HTML element inside these quotes. Yeah, it will be image, new element, of course. Then this specific attribute src equal. Be very careful now, because we have to connect one text with another text, because inside here we will add this element value. We want to add it here, so we will close this quotes here, and we'll add plus plus. Inside plus plus, we'll add this random number for image variable. So they will have this number. So it means that source for image will be a specific number which was generated. And after plus and quarter, I will have to add this extension of the file, JPG, yes, dot JPG. Yeah. So it's randomly generated file. Let's start. Let's check. Run. Yeah, run. Let's check. Click on it. Nice. It changes. You see? Wow. Also in console, I can see which image has been loaded. Let's check in the online. Double click. Wow. Nice. Let's get back. What else? If we check the result page, this runs automatically. So we can add automated change of pictures. So we have additional implementation. Additional implementation is specific set timeout function in JavaScript, and we can call it in whatever intervals we want this and change these pictures. So we'll create additional function which I call just run gallery. It means when page, we will put this function in the start of the page load, and after page loads, the gallery will start changing. So run gallery, first parentheses and curly bracers, and there is specific JavaScript function which is called set timeout. Yes, parentheses open. Don't forget semicolon. There is, I don't know, for beginners maybe tricky logic. Don't lose where I'm writing, so be carefully. Called anonymous function, which does not have its name, just function, and curly bracers. And inside this function, we call this function generate and show random image. We put it here. Don't forget parentheses. And we will create a loop. So it should work infinitely. Yeah. So when random generate and show random image function is called, we yes, generate new image, but after this we call itself the same function, run gallery again. Every time run gallery again and again and forever. So generate image and run again. It will run again and again, generate image, run gallery, and forever. It's one type of the loops. Other types of the loops you will learn, you can learn in the course. Yeah. And what else? What I've forgotten to after these curly bracers of inner function, this anonymous function, at the end put the comma and add the time interval which you want these images change. So I will put 3000. 3000 means milliseconds. So it's 3 seconds. Yeah. So let's start. If I click run, it starts. It does not charge. Sorry, does not start changing. I forgot one thing. Go to index.html. I have to initiate this function at the beginning of the page load. So this works when I click, but I want to initiate after page loads. So I have to add additional script tag, script element, yeah, additional script and inside the script, I should write the call of this function. So the function is called run gallery. So go back to index.html and write run gallery. Yeah, don't forget semicolon at the end. Also, always follow when you run console. If there is a problems in JavaScript, everything is shown in console. Very descriptive, these error messages. Let's run it. Lost connection. Let's, yeah, loading. But I will refresh because the connection was lost. Just a second. By the way, all these changes you see is every time is saved. Don't worry about it. If something crashes, you always can log in and get to your project. So I have refreshed the page and can run. And you see now every time, every 3 seconds, these images changes. Yeah. So what else? I can go to our result page, refresh, and see this. This is works. Yeah, what's you can see there is a bug at the bottom. This footer is a bit to the left. Yeah. Let's see what's the problem. Always you can see what's the problem with elements when it does not show as you expect. So you can click F12 key in the keyboard. Developer tools opens and you can check elements. You can click on the left. There is a code inspection tool on the left developer tool window. This arrow with a rectangle. You can click on it and then you can see, you can with a mouse click on this footer and see what's the problem. You see that the footer is something wrong with it. Yeah, it's not in the middle. It's 50% width, but not in the middle. Let's see CSS. Go to the CSS. Yeah, it's called footer, and inside CSS, where's CSS? What's interesting thing with CSS is that I changed actually footer to 100% width, but here footer I changed it back to 50%. So I have just to move this this CSS from, just cut it and move up to the footer, because it overrides. It goes from up down and overrides. Now it's 50% footer, and after this line is executed, it's 100%. So now should work. Let's double check. Run, and you see it's in the middle. Once again, I want to remember, because it's the last part of this lesson, go online with Hello Dublin. So online is this link, upper link. You can share with your friends and show what you did, and it's can be reached from any browser. So I just copy again, and if I place it here, I have this page done. And if I click link, we can double check test, do some testing, contact us. You see that was redirected to contact page. So if you want to fill the darkness below, contact us and learn how. That's it for me, I guess.
Great.
So the time is for questions.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you very much. That was really interesting. We're all watching away. We've had a few questions come through. And one of them, I think you almost answered at the end there, which came through. I'll just look down the questions here from an Ashling who asked, does it matter what order everything is in? So you mentioned there about going from top to bottom and it overriding. But
yes, regarding CSS, order is very important. And sometimes you can mix when you are not pre-planned something, you can sometimes mix something, but always you can correct yourself later and fix it. So as now there is an intention to show some bugs and fix it at the end. Yeah.
Okay, so it is important. The order is very important. And
yes, very important.
And is that also the case in HTML?
HTML order also is important. Where you place HTML elements, they will appear in the same place when you want to preview it. So it's also very important.
Okay, and we had a question here from a Carol who was asking, what's the real difference between HTML and JavaScript?
Real difference, HTML is just static. HTML itself, it's called HTML, it's called hypertext markup language. You just build the page without any interactivity. JavaScript is for interactivity, for logic. You can dynamically build elements depending what data is provided. In this case, for example, I just created random numbers. JavaScript, because HTML cannot create random numbers, JavaScript can do, and I can combine them and put together and create very interactive, powerful, nice, fancy web pages.
Okay.
I'm not sure I answered it.
Yeah, and if there's any more questions, type them in now because we've just got a couple more here. But if there are any, feel free to type them in. We had one from a Rory, and he was saying, is CSS the only one that can show images? And is CSS also was asking, someone else was asking, didn't quite catch their name there, but can it show video? So that's the...
HTML itself can show video because HTML has element which is called video. Also, you can play a sound. Yeah.
Okay.
So not CSS itself shows. CSS is for decorating, just for example, nice corners, nice moving of elements itself. But if you want to show video, like image, for example, at the moment I showed one element which is called image. Yes, IMG. Yeah. So there is specific element for video. It's called just video. You can use this and put video to inside your web page. Yes, and
okay.
also sound. Right. Also, yeah,
and a sound as well. Great. Well, and we had another one here which maybe I could answer. How long are the courses from a Sinead? And well, really that's depends on the course, Sinead. So it's some of them are 8 weeks. So I know that the data analytics course is 8 weeks. The web development is 6 weeks. Our basics of coding is 8 weeks. So they're all in and around 2.5 months or 2 months to 3 months. So they are short courses. That's really it from the questions at the moment. So maybe I'll just let you know how to contact us. So the website is www.dublincoding.ie. That's dublincoding.ie. The email address, you can catch me on luke@dublincoding.ie. And if you're on the website, you can register for yeah, exactly, there we go. There's an info@dublincoding.ie as well, which that will come through to us. And you can also on the website register for a consultation. So if you look at the Career Center, that's where we really help. Our people will help you discuss, what are your goals for working in IT and talk to you about which course it might be relevant to take. Once you've taken a course, they'll also help you with your CV and finding a job and helping with interviews. You can also have a look at the course material itself and register your interest. And certainly we'll be happy to answer any questions you have on a call. So just that website again, you can just see it on the screen, is dublincoding.ie, and you can catch us at info@dublincoding.ie. Our next group in web development is actually going to be starting on the 10th of May. So that's only about a week over, just over a week away, 2 weeks. So the 10th of May, and that won't be any more than 12 students. So if you're watching this, you want to be part of that group, please get in touch with us. Okay, well, I think that's really it from us for the evening. I'd really like to say a big thank you to Sigmantis for leading the workshop and showing us. And I suppose we can say hello, Vilnius back from Dublin.
Hello, Dublin.
Hello, Dublin.
Yeah, it was really a nice opportunity to work together.
Great. Well, yeah, well, thank you very much. And with that, I suppose we'll say goodbye to everybody on Facebook, and also goodbye to anyone who's watching again through any of our channels on YouTube. We hope you enjoyed it and found it useful. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's it. Bye.